should be fine now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Sammy Ramsbottom.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really good. Well, as good as you can be.
Yeah.
As good as you can be, indeed. So right, let's get straight into it. Let's talk about your time at SIYT, starting at the beginning. When did you join?
I joined when I was in year 9, so I think that was 2012. I joined in 2012.
Recorded as 2012.
12. So yeah, it was your last year.
Oh yeah, it was loads of people's last year.
Yeah, it was like yours and Frankie's and Mars's, and I think, was it Sydney?
Yeah.
Sydney and Gemma as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really. I was brand new, and then it was just such an emotional year, and I was just like, oh my god, it was just like, yeah, that was crazy, but it was so good. So yeah, Bugsy, the first Bugsy was the first summer show that I did.
Yeah.
That was really good.
So do you remember what that sort of vibe was like at that time when you joined in year 9 and you have all these sort of people really close together, quite a lovely family? Do you remember that sort of vibe?
Yeah, I did. I was like, I joined obviously when you're very young. It's quite intimidating, especially when like you've never really interacted with like lots of people that are like older than you. You've kind of always interacted with the people of the same age. So when I joined youth theatre, and it was just like people ages like 11 to 18, and I was just like 13 looking at all these 18-year-olds like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's kind of intimidating, but I remember like when I joined, obviously all the adults are so like bubbly, as you are as theatre people, and everyone was like so inclusive, and even though like everybody had like their friendship groups and people were like friends and everything, every time like we came together to like play games and stuff, it was always so fun, and everybody felt like included, and everybody was like having a laugh and everything. So it was very cute. I was like, yeah, I immediately thrived, I think, in youth theatre from the off. But yeah, I think I was in the beginning, I think I was very intimidated just because it was my first year, but it like brought me out of my shell, because especially when you're like doing a play with like older ones as well, they will like naturally just like bring you out of your shell and, you know, drag you here or drag you there and be like, come on, join in this game, or like blah blah. Or when you're like playing some improv game and and you're like having to improvise with like, I know Joe Davies isn't that much older than me, but when I was like improvising with Joe Davies, and I was just like, oh my god. Yeah.
That's Joe Davies.
I don't know, we did the, yeah, it was really, I remember having to, in my first cabaret, I was like the youngest person picked to do the improvised challenge on the stage, and I was like, I can't do this. And I was just on stage like, oh my god. And then there was one of the lines that the audience had written was like, I can't remember what it was, but it was just like, oh my god, we're stranded on a ship. Oh wait, it doesn't matter because I'm a duck. And we were all like stood there like, what? And nobody wanted to say this line. And I hadn't contributed like at all before this. So I just was like, right, I'm going to do it. So I just said the line, and I ended up just like doing the chicken wings and walking backwards and forwards on stage throughout that whole sketch. And Joe Davies just looked at me like, okay, come on, we've got to get the boat out. And I was just like, oh, I didn't know what to do. But that was quite funny.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Improv can be scary. But then by year 13, by the end, I was just doing improv like whatever. So it's quite funny.
Water off the duck's back. Water off the duck's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a proper dad joke for everyone.
Yeah.
So what was your favourite show?
My favourite show, right, I'm going to look at the posters. I really loved, well, there's favourite parts from every show that I loved, but I think I can't pick a favourite show. I loved Grease because of the dance role I had. That was sick. I loved doing that. Peter.
Yeah.
I was going to mention
Cha-cha.
that. You see.
Yeah, that's great. I loved that role. Even though it was like a small role, I just loved the dance that I got to do. I loved the music in Ragged Child. I thought the music in Ragged Child was insane.
Yeah.
I'm not like the best singer, but like the music in Ragged Child was just like powerful. And I don't know, did you guys see that show?
Yeah.
Did you guys come to see it?
I think I was part of the backstage team.
I was assistant director.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Sorry guys.
It's all right. I wasn't actually there for show week though. I was on holiday that week, so I saw everything up to like the point where you went like production week, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Never got to see it.
Well, Let Them Starve continues to be like, I think, the most insane thing I did in youth theatre. Like, I just remember back on that song, that number specifically, and I'm just like, oh my god, I just loved Let Them Starve so much. And then Fame, just because Fame was the first time it was my last show, and it was the first time I got like a main role. And yeah, I just really enjoyed, and I think it was a time where like I actually didn't really take it that seriously. I was just enjoying myself. Like the first time I get a main role, and I don't really take it very seriously. But no, I took it seriously, but it was more like, because it was my last one, everybody just felt so close, and it was just a time that I could just like have fun and get into it. So yeah, I think those are my standout moments throughout my time at youth theatre.
I think what was really nice about Fame is something that I had at Bugsy, where it was really close and really family sort of invested. And having like someone like you as that younger member coming in at that point, and then going on to Fame and having a similar sort of response, just shows how much of an impact these kind of shows have.
Yeah, 100%. Like when I remember like your year leaving, Sam, in Bugsy, and like I just joined, and then you're all giving your leaving speeches, and I burst into tears. And I don't even know you guys that well. Like I didn't really speak to you guys that much. And I just burst into tears at your leaving speech, and I was just like, "Oh my god! Like this really means something to people. Like it's not just a drama club." And then when I go to my leavers, and what was that like 5-6 years later? Yeah, or something. And we're doing like by the time I'm leaving, we have like we do the leavers evening, and all the leavers do like performances and whatever. And I decided to like write a story of a girl, and it was me. Throughout, like, and I just told the story of like my time doing youth theatre, and I like sat down on a chair and I got a big storybook, and like pretending I was reading a story to kids, but I read the story of my time at youth theatre. And by the end of me reading this story, probably not even the end, let's be honest, like 2 lines in, I'm bawling my eyes out. Just like and I just remember like that moment. I remembered like the beginning when I saw everybody else, like when I started crying for you guys all leaving, and I was just like, wow, this is full circle. And it just really does have a huge impact on people's lives who've been in it, and it like had a massive impact on my life. Like it even affected how like I was in school, just because all of my friends became youth theatre friends, and then all of my friends that I still have now from home are youth theatre friends. And just the other evening, like we all got together on a Zoom, like with people I haven't spoken to since like last summer, because we always tried to get together, but like Johnny or Rachel and Kwame and me and Scarlett and everyone, we're all over the country, so we don't see each other often, but they're still like my closest friends from home. So it has had a huge impact on my life, and it still does, I guess, today.
so great.
And yeah, because you've got another Ramsbottom in youth theatre now, don't you?
Yeah.
So the legacy continues.
Exactly.
How was that for you when you found out, or sort of, because I don't know what happened? Did you push him into joining youth theatre? What was that conversation?
No. Basically, so Justin came because Justin is 9 years younger than me, so he didn't actually see a lot of the youth theatre productions. I have another brother, Martin, who's 5 years younger than me, and he came to see all of the shows that I was in. But Justin, the first show that he saw that I was in was actually Fame. So it was my last show, and that was the first one he ever saw. And he came, and he absolutely loved it. And he was like dancing in the audience, dancing along. Like, he made me teach him the choreography when I got back home. Like, I think if you scroll back on the current members page, there's a video that I posted of Justin, like a little 8-year-old Justin doing the choreography Fame, because I taught him it. And he like looked up to Kwame's character. He was like, oh my gosh, I love that character. So ever since Fame, Justin was like, I want to do it. I want to be in it. So it wasn't really me like pushing him. I think he just he saw that and naturally wanted to be a part of it. And when he was in primary school, like, he did all the, school shows and everything. So he was very much into drama. And we can all, like, admit that Justin's, like, the out there character. So he definitely is, like, someone that thrives in, like, a youth club, youth theatre type situation. So, yeah, it was, he came to one of the shows and, like, joined, which I think is a story for a lot of people, to be honest. Like, same story for a lot of people. They come and see a show and then they really want to join.
And it's such a good sort of like sell for us as well, isn't it? When you have people like come see our shows and then go, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, 100%. I remember, like, I don't know if Hannah Jakes. Do you remember Hannah Jakes? Yeah. She was in my year. And she wasn't in Bugsy, but she came to see Bugsy because I made her. And she was just like, oh my God, I love it. I want to join. And she wasn't really like a drama person, you could say, before that. But then she joined youth theatre and absolutely like loved it. And then we did drama GCSE, drama A-level together. And now we live together in Lincoln. Like, we live together at uni. Like, it's mad. But yeah, like, loads of people like come and watch the plays and then join straight afterwards. It's great.
That's good. That's. I mean,
Peter, did I interrupt? Go on.
No, I was just going to say. I mean, that's just brilliant. Yeah, it's so great hearing those stories of people bringing their friends along, which is exactly what the kids now should be doing. When we get to go back to youth theatre, is get your friends to come along, watch you, and they'll love it so much they'll want to join. Almost definitely.
Yeah. I think watching, you want to be involved. Like, even when I just go watch things now, I want to be involved. I want to be in it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think it's the best selling point, because you see everybody having fun and enjoying themselves and expressing themselves and blah blah. So
I was going to say it's not even it's not even the theatre per se. It's more that you just see the kids, your mates of yours having fun on stage, and that's just great. I think that's when people go like, oh, I want to
100%.
I want to have fun like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of like the main point of youth theatre really isn't even to do the theatre of it. Like, it's getting everyone together and like making friends, building confidence, building skills. Like, if you're like a shy or reserved person, you join youth theatre, by the end, like 5 years later, you will not be that shy reserved person anymore. Like, it's just, not that that's a bad thing, obviously, but just that it really develops you, and that's the main point of it. It's not, and like the theatre helps that, because it helps you develop all those skills. But in the end, it's not the acting and the shows that are the main reason of it. It's the friendship and the development and that.
Yeah.
So, do you have any favourite moments at all?
I have so many favourite moments. I think, but it's also, I always think like how it's sad that I probably don't remember some moments that were amazing, because I was in there for like 6 years, and there's probably moments, like little stupid moments, where you're hanging out with your mates somewhere, like hanging out with my mates in the lift in the corn exchange when you're not supposed to be in that lift. Like there's like little moments there's probably like little moments like that where that I don't remember that were like just great moments. But what are some favourite moments I do remember? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like,
Fringe is normally a good place.
Yeah. Fringe was amazing. I fell in love with Edinburgh like the first time I went, which was in 2013 with, what was it?
What I want to say.
What I want to say, but never. As if I just forgot it and had to look at what I want to say. Yeah, I fell in love with Edinburgh, and every year we always get together as a group and we're like, we're gonna go to the Fringe, we're gonna go and do it and just have fun, and then we never do because we never have any money. But yeah, I fell in love with Edinburgh. I absolutely love the Fringe. The atmosphere there is just incredible. Walking up and down the mile, flying to people, pestering people. I love it. I love pestering people. But yeah, the Fringe was so good. Yeah, every Fringe was really good. And the last Fringe that I went as a helper. So that was crazy as well, going as a helper.
It's a different vibe, isn't it, when you're helping out, because you're in charge of a group for a select amount of time, and then when the evening comes, if you're not on like rotation, if you're not like keeping an eye on people, then you've got a bit more free time, don't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was really weird actually when I went, because I went obviously the year after I finished youth theatre, and like I think most of the helpers they're normally like just out of youth theatre when they go and help. So I was on my gap year and I'd just come back from travelling, and I went and I was in Liz's team. We were a team together, but it was actually really weird because Johnny and Kwame were still members of youth theatre, but obviously they're the same age as me. So I found it really difficult to kind of say that I was like, in charge of them, or they had to kind of, listen to me. Not like obviously they did, and they were like respectful of me and everything. It just felt weird having gone from being a member with all of these people not long ago, and being the same age as like a few of them, and having to then be in charge of them, and like leading them was really weird. And when it came to actually, like, there was a time I had to actually, like, discipline. That was horrendously weird. That was really weird, because I was just like, they're not going to take me seriously. Last year I would have been with them. Like, so yeah, that was mad. That going as a helper, and you see when you're in those morning meetings and you see everything, and it's just weird. It's just weird. I don't know how much of that you can use, but
I mean, weird. So what? Yeah, because I've performed there, I've helped out with there, and it's just it's two different vibes, two different sort of situations, really. And I think you sort of. I think at that point you realise, like, if you're a chairman or director or whatever, you realise like how much stress these kids put them under as well.
I'm not even how much stress I was under, and I wasn't any of those main roles. I was just like a helper. So it's honestly mad, and going, like, taking that step up, like, obviously it was incredible still. I loved it, but when you're, having to look after so many people, and I loved my group, like the group that I was in, I really loved it, and you become so close as a group, which was mad to think. But yeah, it was a whole different experience when you go as a helper, and it opens your eyes to like how it works and the inner workings of it all, and yeah, it's mad.
Let's go back to Greece for a second and talk about that lovely dance scene that you two are in. Your opinions of Peter's dancing at the beginning.
Not good. Not good.
No, I honestly don't think I can. If I did have a first impression, I can't remember it. I can't remember we're thinking, oh, this is really bad, or oh, Peace is amazing. I just remember all the rehearsals we'd have with Leon.
Yeah.
Like upstairs in Broadleys, or outside in the Broadleys, or like in the corridor to the Corn Exchange. Like all the different lessons we'd have to like try and learn the lift.
Yeah.
I remember getting so frustrated. Like, do you remember?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can't do it.
Definitely. Yeah. I definitely remember getting frustrated. I remember constantly saying, because at the time I was going to like these like free running like sessions at the Huntingdon gym, and like me and Rainey were going to them.
Oh, wow.
And I was like I'm learning to do a backflip at the moment, like a standing backflip, so I'll have it down for the show. And I kept saying like I remember. Yeah. Like I kept saying like I'll have it down. I'm nearly there. And I think when it got closer to the show, we were doing too many rehearsals. I just stopped going to the sessions, and it just never happened. And then yeah, so it was the lift in the end instead, which I think was better. But yeah, no, I could definitely remember certain moves. I remember doing like you sort of doing like a cartwheel over me, like sort of and I sort of support you. I remember that. I remember the lift, and like we did the classic like that bit, didn't we?
I rolled up on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And then I was like here, and Titanic style. On your shoulders. That was some sick choreography as well. Like that was mad. I can't believe we did that, because I still dance now, and sometimes I think, oh, I want to put like lifts in my dance and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I can't remember how to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm not risking anybody falling on the floor. So how Leon did that is mad. But I have. Look what I have. Oh, you probably have this, but I dug this out of my drawer, like the Grease bomber jackets that we got, and I got mine in a horrible purple. And at the time, Justin Bieber was all the rage, so everyone was just saying this is the Justin Bieber, like look, isn't it? Oh, like baby Justin colours, but. Look, and it's SIYT bag.
Which is one of my favourite things that's ever happened. Talk to me about youth theatre related clothing and memorabilia.
Alright, okay. So, I could make a whole wardrobe of the amount of youth theatre clothes I have. Like, fully. I have every t-shirt from when I started, which is like so many random ones. So you got all the fringe ones, and then in between we made like the grey one, which is just like, you know, the normal. It was supposed to be like one that we could wear to any event, so it didn't have any kind of specific date on it, or it didn't have, you know, a show. You could just wear it wherever. So I have 2 of those grey ones, because I think I accidentally may have stolen someone's at some rehearsal, and they're both like extra large. So it's great. I wear them as pajamas. And I have the hoodies. What is it? So I've got this one from 2013 Fringe, the black one.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
And it's still got all that like spray glue on it.
Great.
Because it just never came off from 2013, and it's still got like bits of spray glue on it. I think this one got like look at the spray glue on the hood. Because I remember like one really rainy, windy day when we were out there, and I sprayed, and I obviously sprayed in the direction of the wind, like the wind was blowing the opposite way, and I just sprayed and it just went all over me. So I've got lots of residue on this one. So this one I've still got, but I don't really wear this one a lot because it's got glue all over it. But I love this one. And then I've got the hoodies from the other fringes. I've got like the blue one from Vision, and then the grey one from when I went to help with. I can't remember.
So I've heard.
So I've heard. And then I've got the Vision t-shirts and the Fame. Oh, where's the Fame t-shirt? Is like black, like the red shirts when it's black, but then it doesn't have anything on the front, and on the back it just says SIYT Fame, and it's got like it's in pink, and it's got stars all over it, and that was just like, it's just so Fame. And I don't wear that one a lot either, but it's just really cute to look at, and I wear it to like the gym or dance or something. So, but I've only got those two here because I actually still wear a lot of my t-shirts and hoodies and things because I do a lot of like dance and stuff, so they're just good to like dance in or wear if I'm having a lazy day. I just put on one of the t-shirts and stuff, and it's nice to look back on and everything. But my t-shirt from the first Fringe with the like rock hard poster on the back is just basically gone. Like that poster is just so faded.
Yeah.
It's mad.
And then I've got a whole drawer. Oh, this is really sad. I've got a whole drawer. I've just taken the drawer out of like scripts and programs.
Oh, brilliant!
So I don't have like all of the scripts and programs, but I've got like my Vision script, which is really tatty, and then Grease.
Hey.
I think you were meant to give that back.
Yeah, sorry. No, because I couldn't give it back because look what I did on the back.
Any words of wisdom for our current members?
Any words of wisdom? I would just say, what would I say? I would just say, like, cherish every moment, because once you're gone, you're gone. I think that, like, once you're gone, there's, like, you don't get those chances to, like, create those memories again, or you might forget, like, those little moments that were, you know, so much fun in rehearsals just with your mates. So, like, cherish every moment and, like, throw yourself into it. Like, really throw yourself into it. I think, like, I got so much out of it because I was so into it. Like, I was so committed, and I made so many friends. I developed so much as a person because I threw myself into it, and I enjoyed so much, and I got so much out of it as well. So, and it remains like, I've got a drawer full of stuff from it. It remains a huge part of, like, my life. It took up, like, my whole secondary school life, really. So I really look back on it fondly. And yeah, I would just say, like, throw yourselves into it. Like, get involved with as much as you like. Audition for everything and anything, because at the end of the day, it's not about the shows. It's not about getting the main part, and it's not about, you know, being the best singer or the best actor or whatever. It's about being involved and making friends and building your confidence and learning new skills and just having fun and singing along and acting along with everyone and just making those memories. Just throw yourself into it, and that's how you get the most out of it, I think.
Lovely stuff.
Great words. Great words.
And
Right.
I've got, like, oh, sorry, Sam.
That's all
I've
right.
just got this, which is what we were all given at the end. So it's like a little scrapbook, and it's got, like, pictures from my time.
That's
there,
cute.
That's great.
And messages from people. So that was really nice.
Oh,
So
that's really
That's
nice.
very cute.
So did you get that when you left?
Yeah, so we got that when we left.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that was really cute. And then I've got this big one, which is just a photo album. I'm not going to open it. But Annabelle Carter made this for me. And it's not really to do with youth theatre, but it's actually got so many youth theatre pictures and memories in here because our lives revolve that much around it. So I keep this in here as well because that's really cute. Mine's not as great as Joe's, but where is it? There it is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
on the end, I wasn't even in that one. So that's enough. But I'm really proud of it because it was one of those double bill ones.
Yeah.
You know, that we do. I'm taking you over here. It was a double bill one. And I was like, I thought they were so good, but I, like, put them together. So I, like, half and half.
Oh.
Posters.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I like that.
Like, it was a double bill. They are like full posters within themselves. I just folded over like one of them.
Yeah.
And there's my ticket from when it wasn't my ticket because I was doing the lighting. I think it was my mum's ticket or something.
Oh, great. That's good.
But yeah, but you owe. Are you still doing them? Because you owe Justin a Legally Blonde ones.
Do we? Okay, I'll get on it. We got plenty of them.
We never handed out the DNA ones either, did we? Because we were going to do them.
We just like, yeah, I think
they're all signed.
Yeah, no excuse for the Legally Blonde, but there's an excuse for the spring one.
Yeah, bit of an excuse for that one. Yeah.
I'll make sure he gets one. Easy.
Thanks.
Are we on again?
You are on again, yeah.
Sorry, Sammy, what were you going to say?
I was just saying, Justin always looks up at the wall and he's like, I need one. I've got a and I was going to go to Wilco's and just get him a thing.
we definitely have it all at the hut, so when we get a chance, like, just keep reminding me. So we're going again.
We're going again. Yeah.
Cool. Before we get into that, I'm just gonna say that
I wish there was a video of us doing that grease dance.
I know.
I don't know if we were just like amazing in my head.
No, I agree. I think there was a video of us practicing the hand jive, but I don't think not of like our bit individually. There was just a video of like in the rehearsals at the Corn Exchange. I'm sure there was a video of that somewhere. It's probably on Tyler or Frankie's thing, probably somewhere. But yeah, but I don't. I would love to. I reckon Andy probably does have some. I'm sure he said that he had some. Footage,
I've looked at like the photos, but like the photos that we've got from our thing, because all the photos that we have together from that dance, I'm in my day outfit. I'm not in my cha-cha outfit.
Right. Okay.
Because like I remember like something happening where I couldn't get changed, like it was like a malfunction, so I'm not even in the right outfit.
So was that in the dress rehearsal or something? Was it?
Yeah, it was in the dress rehearsal.
Oh.
So like all the photos are from like all the like nice photos that Andy took are from like the dress rehearsal. And at that point, I remember I just couldn't get changed for the hand jive.
Yeah.
And then I had to do the whole thing in my day outfit, and the skirt was falling down. Do you remember? Like I don't know if I was wearing a blue skirt, and because it wasn't the right outfit, it was just falling down throughout the whole dance.
No.
And there's a picture of us right at the end of hand jive, you know, when we're supposed to be like, yeah, and everyone's like, yeah, and I'm just like looking to like at Trish probably like help me, Trish. I'm just like, it's so obvious. I'm like holding my skirt. I'm like...
Oh dear.
But yeah, that was funny. And I just thought of another really good moment, like a really memorable moment, similarly to like when at the end of Bugsy, when you guys all left, like your year sat, when you all left and it was like crying, after Vision 2015, I think? Yeah, Vision 2015, when we took it to the Fringe, and that year all left.
Oof.
It was, I don't think I've ever cried more in my life. Like, it was honest, because I think at that point, I was really close to that year above, and like I think that always kind of happens. Like you're similar in age, and when you're the last two, like you know, the older 2 years, you get really close, and that's when you're all going to like parties together and everything. Yeah. So, and that year just was like I just felt so close to, and at that point everybody was really close, and and literally when the last show of that Vision was just insane. Like I remember during Joe Dry's song, everybody broke down into tears, and I wasn't even backstage, because at that point we were like next to the audience, where the audience sit. We were like stage right of the audience or whatever, and honestly I was just like crying, and like, but it wasn't silent crying, and nobody was silent crying. Like Dan Davis was in front of me, like bawling his eyes out, and I just couldn't hold it in. I was literally like and people in the audience were all just like the heck? And I remember people coming up to us at the end like, why are you all crying?
It's something that everyone who's been involved in that production talks about it. Those floods of tears, because you had the back row filled with volunteers and everything, and then I could see in my because I was sitting relatively in the middle, and I could see loads of you just in that corner, crying your eyes out and being like, "No, it's okay."
Honestly, it was just so, I've never experienced because obviously whenever there's a leavers, it's really sad, but that year specifically, it was just everyone was crying, everyone, and it was right in the middle, not in the middle, during a production, that hadn't happened, that doesn't, I don't know, I haven't really seen. Obviously it has happened, but when Joe just broke down during his song, and we were all just like, nah. And it's an emotional song as well, because Bernadette's died, and it's just
it's a state, isn't it?
So much.
I tell you what, I was helping out with I helped out that year at the Fringe, and I think it was me and Frankie were running a group, and were you in my group, Sammy?
No, you and Moz were running a group.
No, Moz and Sam were running a group.
It was me and Moz.
Oh, yeah, because they were gay socks and we were lesbian slippers or something like that. I don't know. We were just lesbians.
I forgot about those nicknames.
It was the first Fringe where you and Moz were running a group, wasn't it, Peter? 2013. Was it that one?
No, because I was still in it then, so I can't have been running a group. But you're right. I think Moz was our leader 2013. But so I suppose I was sort of not helping him because I wasn't I was a member still, but I guess I was maybe I don't know.
Because we got lost and went to the zoo that first year.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Trish was like, I wonder if this route could take us closer.
Well, it was me. I was saying I remembered from the first Fringe. I was like, this route used to. I was like, this route. I'm sure it was this route. It used to take us literally to the back of sweet venues, because that's what we used to do. We used to get that, and so I was like, let's just try it, and we just kept going.
The zoo. And I remember turning up and everyone's like, where have you been? And we were all like, we just went to the zoo.
Yeah.
As if we went in the zoo and we didn't just get off the bus and get back on another bus.
That's such a funny moment though.
Yeah, that was funny. That was really good.
I'm really confused now, because actually I'm thinking about it and I'm trying to think, because I wrote about it in the song that I did, my Leavers song, and I said Gay Socks was the best team, so I must have been.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I was.
I think you were in that team, surely.
I must have been, but I thought I was Frankie's number 2 in Vision. But maybe I would.
This one was what I want to say.
Gay Socks was what I want to say, yeah.
Oh, of course it was, because I was still in it, right? Yeah. Okay. So Sam, was it you and Moz running it for that one?
No.
Right.
Oh, Sam, not me. Sam.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry, yeah, Sam was saying it, yeah. Sam and so it was Sam, you and Moz, wasn't it, that was running that one?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. We've clarified it now. Yeah. Because I was I'm sure for Vision I was helping Frankie as her number 2. But anyway, yeah. God, some funny times there. Funny times.
Yeah, the Fringe is full of funny memories.
Yeah.
So Sammy, what have you been up to since leaving SIYT?
Okay. Well, I left in 2016. Yeah, 2016 was my last year of school, my last year of youth theatre, and then I actually took a gap year. So I went travelling in 2017, and I went gallivanting across the world, as they say, which was incredible. I recommend a gap year to anyone. That can be to any members that don't know what to do maybe afterwards. Take a gap year. Do it. I highly recommend it. Anyway, so I took a gap year, and then I deferred. So I applied to university the same time as everybody else, in year 13. And it got to results day at the end of year 13, and I was just like, honestly, no, I can't go to uni right now. I'm not going to uni. And I just rung up Lincoln on results day. I remember being sat in like one of the ICT suites in school, just like trying to get a hold of them. And obviously you're on hold for so long because everybody's ringing up the universities on results day. So I'm ringing up Lincoln. I'm trying to get through to them. And then I was like, can I please defer? And I thought it was going to be a huge thing. And they were just like, yep. So I deferred, and it was easy as hell. So that was great. And then I ended up going to uni like a year later. I went to, in September 2017. And I study BA journalism. And yeah, so I've just, I'm in my third year now, finishing my third year now. I've just handed in my dissertation, and and now I'm in the process of making a documentary, because I specialize in broadcast journalism, so TV and radio and everything. So that's what I kind of want to go into. But yeah, so, and then I'm job hunting at the moment, so it's horrific. Being an adult is scary. So,
hello. Just switched over.
Don't know what happened. Okay, there you go. So, so job hunting, trying to apply for jobs, and yeah, I want to go into broadcasting, that kind of side of journalism, but I also really want to work within social media and kind of creating content for online, as well as, so like a mix of like PR and journalism, kind of some marketing. I really like just content creating for online, but in a more broadcast sense, so like making videos, podcasts, things like that. So, like companies like BuzzFeed and Insider and companies that are moving more towards online and that are traditionally magazine companies but are actually making a lot of online content and being more successful in that sense. So I'm looking into like moving into kind of social media and content creating online. So yeah, that's kind of what what I'm doing at the moment. And my 3 years at university were great. I loved university. Obviously, it's really stressful. Journalism is not a DOS. Anybody who thinks so is wrong. It's not a DOS. It's just like anything. It's very, stressful and hard, just like university. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed my time at university. I found I think everybody always gravitates to kind of like a group or something. And after leaving youth theatre, I was feeling that void of something. I needed to like be creative in, and express myself in kind of, the theatrics or theatre and everything. So I was like, oh, do I join the drama society and do like youth theatre again, or do I join the musical theatre society, and or like do I join the dance society, and blah blah blah. So like when I was a little fresher, I went to all these groups, and the Musical Theatre Society was the one I probably had my biggest eyes on, because I was just like, that's probably like youth theatre. But I found that musical theatre people that aren't maybe the musical theatre people that you grew up with are like not necessarily a bit of me.
Yeah.
It is very different, isn't it? Like in different sort of places as well.
Yeah, I was like, because obviously like youth theatre is musical theatre and drama, and everything. So I was just like, oh yeah, I'm a musical theatre person. I love musical theatre. I absolutely love musicals. And I went, and I it just wasn't for me. I went to the drama society and loved it. But then I went to the dance society, and I just wanted to do something a bit different. I hadn't focused on my dance for so long. Obviously, you dance in youth theatre, but it's not like a main focus. So I was just like, oh, I'm going to join the dance society. And I found kind of another like family within that. So that was really nice to kind of get that aspect back that I'd been like missed for a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really good. And dance has kind of taken over my university life just as youth theatre took over my school life. So So deja vu, really. I'm just getting myself into all these groups and becoming so committed. But yeah, that was amazing. So yeah, that's kind of me.
It kind of that sounds to me like, you know, sort of youth theatre gave you the confidence to be able to go out and, you know, try musical theatre society, try acting, you know, try the dance society until you found something that, you know, you wanted to do again, you know, and you found a new hobby and well, not a new hobby, but you know, a new passion. You know?
Yeah. 100%. Like, I accredit youth theatre to like myself now. I guess that's really cheesy, but like my confidence like skyrocketed through my time at youth theatre that I now do what I do. So I'm a journalist, and my favourite part about doing all the journalism is talking to people and talking to like strangers about their like stories and hearing different people's stories and interviewing people and presenting on camera and all of that. That's my favourite part of it, which really is a lot of the stuff that I did at youth theatre. And it's why when I was at school doing youth theatre and doing all the drama and everything, I was just like, look, I love drama, I would love to do it, but I want to do something else. What is similar? And I went and I found journalism, and I was just like, oh, this is kind of similar, I could do this. And I was led kind of to that path from everything I did in school and from youth theatre specifically, because of the confidence I had, like going out on the Edinburgh Fringe and walking up and down the mile and approaching people, absolute strangers, and trying to hand out flyers and be creative with the way that you get people's attentions. Like doing that has led me to be able to stand in the middle of the high street trying to get interviews off people, like when during like a general election or something. Well, don't do that, that's not actually allowed. But like, you know, if I wanted to interview somebody about any kind of big story and I have to stand in the middle of the street, and nobody likes to talk to the person with the camera in the middle of the street, so, you know, pulling from experience of the Edinburgh Fringe is always helpful. And my friends on my course are often like, Sammy, why are you so confident? Or like, why are you like able to just walk in front of strangers and blah blah blah? And it's definitely because I've done that before and been able to do that before, and not just at the Fringe, like in the middle of town in St Ives doing it, and you know, all of that. It's all helped me to where I am now. And in my university life and in my everything.
I love doing these sort of things. It's like a really nice insight, and it's like, because everyone says like similar, if not the same sort of thing, but it's just so good to see how like the different ways that like your sort of career paths go into. Like Joe Davies going into physics, but can speak like in front of like a big crowd of people because of youth theatre. You going up to people in the street because you've done it so much, like speaking to people like via journalism and broadcasting. And I think we all get little bits and bobs out of it, really.
100%. Like, I fully accredit it to youth theatre and drama and like, that time of my life, because I think without it, I would not be as confident. I would be a lot more reserved, and I would be, you know, that step behind of trying to build that all back up again. And I also I teach a class of like 40 to 60 people dancing, and if I hadn't have like, you know, been in youth theatre and had the opportunity to choreograph things in youth theatre or help out in youth theatre and control big groups like that, I'd be like lost. But I've done that before, so I'm not lost, and I'm able to do that every week and teach people. And it's like it's given me the kind of platform to grow, and it's just an amazing experience. I think that's helped me in life. It's good. It's really good looking back. Like, no matter like anything that's happened, like my time at youth theatre has always just been so great, and like I look back on it so fondly. So, and I'm really glad that Justin can like kind of experience that, and hopefully experience that. And
bye, Sammy.
Bye, Sammy. Cheers so much. It was great. It was really great talking to you.